Okay, all right, I've got to see my.
Okay, good morning, everyone. We're going to start the meeting and call the meeting to order. We'll start with
Door knock here.
oh, no, we enjoy that. Is Margaret standing in today? And we thank her for that. And she will start by reading the preamble and then we'll call the roll.
Here, I'll start over. In compliance with notification requirements of Ohio's open meeting law and section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1976, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of City Planning Department conduct their meetings in a manner modeled after Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Recusals from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting has an opportunity to be heard, we ask that online participants use the raise your hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise your hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise your hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located at the bottom of the WebEx screen. All meeting activity has been recorded via the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed via YouTube. All requests to speak on a particular matter submitted through the proper channels have been considered. We have also received emails from those who have provided written comment on a particular matter. Proper channels for comments are listed below. Communications with members of this body must follow proper channels for consideration. Any comments received by Wednesday, 12:00 p.m. deadline are collected by city planning staff and disseminated to the commission members prior to any scheduled meeting. Proper channels for public comment. Sending an email to the city planning at clevelandohio.gov address with a comment or a letter. Calling and or leaving a message at 216-664-2210. Sending a letter or dropping off comments at City Hall, 601 Lakeside Avenue, Suite 501, Cleveland, Ohio, 44114. The meeting rules and procedures. The chair will call each agenda item, and then each applicant will be invited to proceed through their presentation. Each presentation should be completed prior to questions and comments from the commission in order to facilitate a smooth presentation. Once the presentation has concluded, the chair will ask planning staff to summarize design review advisory committee recommendations, if applicable, and any public comments received. Public comments received through the proper channels by the deadline are distributed to commission members prior to the meeting. Staff will also identify any members of the public present and scheduled to speak. Public comment is allowed at the discretion of the chair, and any individual providing public comment is permitted 2 minutes to speak to the agenda item in which they have an interest. The chair will then request a recommendation from staff if applicable. The commission will then begin deliberations and project review. Any commission member except the chair may make a motion at any point after an agenda item has been called.
Thank you, Marka. Let's first call the roll.
Anthony
Present.
Blucher is not present. Curry.
Present.
McCray Scott.
Present.
Sergeant.
Present.
Life. And Whitfield.
Present.
We have a quorum. Thank you. First order of business is to approve the minutes from the November 7th meeting. We have had those in advance. We have a copy here if anyone needs them. We'll need a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion and a second. Call the roll.
Anthony
Abstain.
Curry.
Present or yes.
McCray Scott.
Abstain.
Abstain, Sergeant,
Yes.
Slife,
Yes.
and Whitfield.
Yes.
Motion carries. The first two items are actually zoning matters. One of them is a map amendment and the second's a conditional use. We're going to hear both the zoning matter and the design review case so that we can see the whole together for both of the agenda items. So it will be a public hearing and I will swear in the speakers who are the applicants since we're going to do both together. So first, as we normally do, we'll hear a presentation from staff. Then we'll hear sponsor testimony. And then I will open it up for public comment. And since it's a public hearing, we'll hear from both those in favor first and those opposed. We'll ask that you state your name if you're making public comment either online or in person and your address, and ask that you keep your comments to 2 minutes or less. So first, I'm just going to swear you in on the design review case. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as you shall answer to the penalty of perjury? And
Yes.
yes, you do. You can leave it on. And then Xavier, you're going to start with the first part of the presentation. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning. My name is Xavier Bay.
Wait, hold on. I should probably read the matter. It's map change 2695. It's changing the use area and height districts of parcels of land north and south of Jefferson Avenue between 6th Street and Thurman. And the design review case is the Jefferson Apartments, which is on the next page, 2433 West 7th Street. And this it got schematic approval, but they are requesting final approval. We have discretion. We'll see as we go. But for commission members and for Anthony, since you're new, you can see the comments from local design review every time there's a design review case. And we will hear the presentation and then we can decide on the next steps as we go. So with that, Xavier.
Thank you. You could go to the next slide, please. I'm a city planner with City Planning, Xavier Bay, bringing forth a proposal here to change the zoning districts here at the intersection of Jefferson and West 7th Street. And the purposes here are really to promote more walkability and to support diversity of housing typologies within the Tremont area. Next slide, please. And so currently the zoning here is 2-family and local retail at this intersection here. And so basically bringing forth this zoning change, you can go to the next slide, please. The zoning change proposal is local retail business H2, and that's really to keep in context with the rest of the zoning at this node. If you're familiar with the area, just down the street from a lot of the restaurants and things of that nature in Tremont. And you already have the existing LRH2 zoning at the western node there. And basically, this is really to fit the design proposal that's coming forth from the developer, as well as to keep up with the development pattern in the neighborhood. Next slide, please. We're also establishing a map setback of 0 feet, and this is something that is, that can only be varied by legislation. So basically, after this comes forth, it requires all the building setbacks and parking are actually allowed to go up to the 0 foot setback, and that's really to allow infill development to be more compatible and contextual to the area. Next slide, please. And so these are just some aerials showing you more of the context of the neighborhood. A few years ago, there was a proposal here just across the street for a multifamily complex, and a lot of the other existing contexts on the streets at this intersection here are already at the 0 foot setback line. Another good component of this is to make sure that you're not necessarily butting up against neighbors behind you. The Euclidean code really doesn't benefit because continuing a walkable neighborhood kind of like urban fabric, because it promotes more of the building to set back. And, you know, it's really an issue when you're having more infill, because basically you're required to set the building further back, and a lot of times that place, you know, is utilized for sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Basically, I'm just saying that so to allow infill development to be built closer up to the sidewalk, so it doesn't tower necessarily over abutting structures, is what I was trying to say. Next slide, please. And so this is the proposal that you're going to hear next through the design review. It's infill development of apartment complex. Next slide, please. And just to recap, the zoning proposal here is to change to local retail business H2 with a 0-foot setback going up and down Jefferson and West 7th Street. And this is really to keep in context with the already existing urban fabric, and to promote walkability. Thank you.
Good morning. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as you shall answer to the penalty of perjury?
I do.
Sorry about the parking.
It's okay.
That's what happened. The parking, sorry about the parking. We don't know what's going on. Do we know what's going on in City Hall?
Medwish.
So
it's like
something like that,
Medwish.
Medwish.
There must be something.
So go ahead. We'll go through the design review.
Okay. Thanks for having me. My name is Wes Harper with Horton Harper Architects. I'm here with James Asimis from the Dallad Group, which is the developer of the project. And so we can kind of quickly go through the context here, but we're at the southeast corner of Jefferson and West 7th. You have 7th here in front of you, Jefferson heading to the east. Some of the context is larger multifamily, actually much larger than what we're proposing here. So I think the zoning kind of makes sense to match what they have at our site. So currently it's vacant. There were previously 2 existing units on the property that burned down a handful of years ago. I believe there was also a townhome project that was presented to this body a couple of years ago. Some controversy, I guess, from a design perspective. But what we're proposing here is a 12-unit apartment building at the northern half of the parcel. It would be 3 stories. Each unit would be roughly 600 square feet. You can see West 7th running north and south at the bottom, and then Jefferson to the left. So we're treating West 7th as the front, but also acknowledging facade on Jefferson as it is a prominent corner. Along 7th, we are kind of jogging the building form to break up the overall scale of it. And as you'll see in the renderings, those basically present themselves as almost individual gable structures that are pushed together. Facing West 7th, we also have canopy and porch structures to bring it down to a more human scale. And then since it is a tight site, you know, we are looking to get landscaping wherever possible. So we would be looking to meet the screening criteria at the 4-space parking lot on the southern portion of the property. We would be removing one of the 2 curb cuts that are there right now. So it's actually adding 1 space to the on-street parking. Trash has been manipulated a bit at the southeast corner of the site at the upper right due to some response from the neighboring residents. The first floor units are accessed from the West 7th sidewalk, and then there are stairways leading up to the upper floor units on the eastern portion of the property. Next. So here we have the West 7th facade. As I mentioned, these are basically 4 individual gable structures that are pushed together, kind of matching some of the geometries of the existing context, but done obviously in a bit more of a modern way. At street level, we have, again, the porches for the first floor units, and then overhead canopies that screen sunlight for people sitting out there. There's also a couple street trees. There are power lines, as there are in most neighborhoods, all over the place. So we're going to be selecting trees that don't grow so tall as to impact the power lines. We are below the 30-foot mark at the eaves, so we're not requiring aerial apparatus access for the fire department. Next. Here we are basically at the middle of the intersection looking towards the southeast. You can see how the simple gable structures extend all the way to the east. At ground level, the cladding is a vertically oriented cement board, and then the upper levels are more horizontal. So it gives a little bit of variation to the texture of the overall project. We're looking to strike a balance really between privacy and having windows on that northern facade. We're looking to sneak in some landscaping along the face of that. And then there's also some other accoutrement that we've added to it in response to some of the design review comments. Next. Here's the view looking towards the southwest from Jefferson. So you're seeing the rear entry there with a canopy overhead kind of defining those entries up to the upper levels. You can kind of get a better sense of the vertically oriented cement board at the first floor as well. Next. Here is a view looking to the northeast from West 7th. You can see the parking lot in the foreground, and then how the building just extends to the east in the background there. Next. Here are some additional renderings that we put together. Some of the comments we got from design review, even though we were approved, was to take a look at some options for dressing up the northern facade. And so one comment came from Tremont West, where the apartment building across West 7th, Grosvenor Apartments, which I think was constructed probably about 5 years ago. They have some nice landscaping in the tree lawn. And so what we're proposing is some additional landscaping on that tree lawn, some street trees, and then even a couple park benches and landscaping there to kind of, I would say, help the pedestrian experience, but then also even adding another layer of safety to those first floor units from a visual perspective. But the three windows that you see on the first floor at the right, those go into the living room. So obviously there'd be people in there, throughout the evening. So, eyes on the street and added security we think is important in this project. Next. Here's a view looking on the sidewalk at that northern facade. We added signage at the upper left here, kind of announcing the entries to those back units, and then the added landscaping here along Jefferson. Next. Then there's a couple options here. This is the proposed scheme that we prefer. The canopy at the porch at the corner at the bottom right basically aligns with the window there at the corner. I think the next, it extends past it, essentially to the property line, adds another post to support it. But again, this was part of our investigation at the request of design review. Next. Here's the palette. Got horizontal and vertical cement board, smooth poured-in-place concrete, and then some of the trim details are more of a buff color to get close to matching the fiberglass windows that we'd have throughout. Next. We have our landscape and exterior lighting plan. We have lighting kind of around the whole building, illuminating the porches, the walkway in the back, but then also the north and south facade. That was per some of the comments from the block club meeting. Landscaping, if we want to get into that, we do have the AC compressors in the nook kind of at the upper left there. And then the others would be on a low roof on the second floor. Next. Here are the species and downlighting. Next. Floor plans, we don't have to get too detailed here, but all the living rooms are facing West 7th, and then all the bedrooms are in the rear.
You don't need to see.
Yeah.
Or the, we're good.
Yeah, good. With that, I'd be happy to answer any
Okay.
questions.
Well, before we jump in, since this is a public hearing, and we're kind of, gonna have two separate motions, but, for the map change, I'm first gonna ask if there's any public comment. In zoning matters, we first hear from proponents, those in favor of the zoning change. Just raise your hand if you're online, and, Evelyn, you can let me know, or anybody here who'd like to speak in favor of this zoning change.
Excuse me, I actually did forget to mention, we do have support from the councilwoman.
Very important. Very
Lauren
important.
Welch.
Just kidding. Is there anyone here to speak, who has a question or, is opponent, of this matter? Raise your hand, or, if you're here. Okay, so, we'll close the public portion of the meeting, since there's no public comment, and open it up to commission members for questions or comments, relative to this matter. I mean, I'll go. I mean, I feel like, I personally don't need to see this again. I think it is at the level that, it's a final review. I think you have made some additions and changes to that facade in terms of from being at design review. I think I don't want to change anything at all. So, but I just would say the option you showed where you had a kind of little bit larger, canopy, or it came out a little bit. I think probably the only thing would be, even though the property line is skinnier on that side, it would only be worth doing that if you kind of wrapped it around the corner a little bit, because that would provide what I think they were looking for. But if that doesn't work, that doesn't work, right? But that's what would kind of make the special nature of the end unit, if you will. So kind of up to you guys, on that one. But, so are there any other questions or comments? And if not, we really have to take the zoning matter first, map change. Which is 2695.
So I will move approval of map change 2695, changing the use area and height districts of land north and south of Jefferson between 6th and Thurman.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Anthony,
Yes.
Curry,
Yes.
McCray Scott,
Yes.
Sergeant,
Yes.
Slife,
Yes.
Whitfield.
Yes.
Motion carries. We have a motion on the design review case.
And I will also move approval of the design review case Northwest 2025 or Near West 2025 019
For final?
for final approval.
For final approval. Okay, I would say, for final approval, even though there's no question, I'd just say the director has the authority to sign off on this when it comes. If there are any of these minor adjustments, you don't have to come back here local unless you can't agree with her, but since we're doing final, it'll go to the staff.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I would say my only comment before I agree with you. I think it's really nice and, really nice project, and also much better than I think I do remember what we saw before. Thank you for that.
It's a product I'd like to see more of. I think it's
Yeah,
a
it's a great product.
good info. Yeah.
And I think it's kind of a beautiful, elegant design. And so while there is a desire to kind of think about the corner or the other facade, I think you've made a lot of steps to kind of make it interesting, special. So anyway, call the roll.
Anthony,
Yes.
Curry,
Yes.
McCray Scott,
Yes.
Sergeant,
Yes.
Slife,
Yes.
Whitfield.
Yes.
Motion carries. We'll see this one soon in construction, hopefully.
Yeah.
We will?
Yes.
All right. Sorry for the parking for 10 minutes. There you go. The next one is a conditional use as well as a zoning matter. The first item is, page 5 is townhouse in a 2F district. That is at 41st and Burton. These are townhomes. And are you Jack? Okay, and then the second one we're gonna hear is Kline Development, and this is the design review case. This is also schematic requesting final, and there were two, I think, considerations from local. So if you could address those also the same way they did, if you're prepared to request for final, that would be great. So with that, first, we're gonna hear from staff.
Good morning, Xavier Bay again, City Planning. Next slide, please. So the proposal here is a townhouse development in a two-family zoning district. And so this proposal requires conditional uses from City Planning Commission. Here you can see an aerial of the zoning districts they're bordering. Next slide, please. Another aerial just to show you the context. And so basically, for the code section requiring conditional uses, you're mainly looking at the context of the neighborhood, compatibility, site layout, building features, and circulation of parking. Next slide, please. And so the development proposal here is at the intersection of West 41st Street and Burton Court. So the area highlighted on the screen really highlights the townhouse proposal. The other that's pretty much the scope of the townhouse development. The other parcels in question that you see on the screen are infill single-family homes, and so they don't actually require conditional uses from this body. The main portion we're considering is the top left quadrant there. Next slide, please. And so I provided some of the elevations and street context photos, but I'll allow the applicant to go into more detail of their proposal after I go over some of the main criteria from the code. And so basically, you're looking at the compatibility, making sure that the elements, height, scale, setbacks, orientation of the proposal here is contextual. Your next slide, please. Also looking at the site layout, landscape features, things of that nature, as well as how the building addresses the right of way. Next slide, please. Lastly, you're also considering the circulation of pedestrians and vehicles around this project as well. And so you can see here from the renderings, really how they're incorporating a lot of screening from the right of way to view the entries of the garage there, and they're mainly wrapping that corner unit to really front West 41st Street. On the bottom right, you can see an image of the other single family home proposal on West 41st there, and then the proposal in the corner of Burton Court. And just across the garage doors is actually some accessory parking for another use that's like across the court here. Next slide, please. And so primarily you're considering what I already mentioned, the building features, site layout, circulation of parking, and how this fits contextually with the surrounding neighborhood. Thank you.
Yeah. I think they have your slides, so if you could hit the button.
The red square.
There we go. Go ahead.
And then how do I control this?
Just say next slide.
I
And
just say-
magically it will
Wow,
change.
technology these days. Okay, well, I have too many slides in here because of all the other stuff, so we'll have to jump around a little bit, but let's.
We don't need everything in.
I know
this
you don't,
footprint,
that's why
so,
there's
yeah.
too much packed in here, but we'll jump around. I'm gonna be a little bit repetitive here with Xavier. You can go back to the Google Earth, please. One of the things I want to point out, this obviously covers the lot. The corner we're talking about is on West 41st and Burton Court. One of the big challenges was with that corner lot, the property on Burton Court, once you get the offsets from Burton Court and everything, you're only left with a sliver, which becomes kind of unbuildable. So originally we were looking at many more units on this property, and we toned that down. We were going to have townhomes in where the single families were and over there, but we decided that it would be more fitting for the neighborhood to have single families over there and orient the townhomes over on the corner of Burton Court. And we kind of view this as, yes, it's a two-family district, but it's also kind of a bookend to where You can see right across from us is just a huge parking lot, which is more of a commercial use. And then we have, I don't know what they do with that building, but, and then before we know it, we're here to townhomes and apartments that are more densely populated on Lorraine. So, coming down 41st, you're seeing residential, residential, residential. And as you get to Lorraine, the general trend is as we move closer to Lorraine or Detroit, sometimes we have more townhomes and more densely populated areas. You can go to the next slide. This just highlights a lot of what Xavier had talked about, general layout of the property. You can go to the next slide. This is the existing layout. 2 homes are being demoed. 1 home is being retained. So you can go to the next slide. This is our current site plan showing the townhomes and the single families. We've been through design review, I think at least 3 or 4 iterations with the challenge we already knew is that, yeah, the place looks, frontages kind of look like they're on Burton Court, and we did a lot of work, threw a lot of money at it, and did a lot of stuff to try to make the West 41st side look inviting. We added planters, changed the entry, 2 rounds of adding windows. The windows were tricky because there were staircases there, and once we put a window in a staircase, we have to make a $20,000-$30,000 floating staircases because it can't touch the wall. So we've really tried to bend and do what we could to make this place look better for our sake and for the city and everybody else. We'll go to, you don't need to see floor plans. We'll go to slide 24, please. You can slip through the existing. We'll cycle through those. Start back over. I'm sorry. Up one more forward. Okay. Yep. Keep going. Okay. Go to 24. Keep trucking. I just wanted to highlight that huge parking lot that's kind of across us, which really gets us. That's just a view of a 3D view of the townhomes. You could see we added balconies. We originally didn't have the 2 windows flanking on the 2nd and 3rd floor. We also added larger windows on the 1st floor to make it more inviting and also to meet the glazing requirements. So we can keep, you don't need to see the floor plan, so we'll keep trucking. Elevations, keep going. And then keep going. Seeing the general materialing, keep going. West 41st facing side. Just notice, even on the West 41st side, just tons of balconies. We like to design things that are, especially living in the city, you want to at least be able to get outside on each floor. So master, 1st floor, tons of balconies.
Are these color, or is the color palette you showed wasn't on that?
The only red brick you're seeing is an example of the garage doors. That's another condo project that I did that happened to have red brick, but showed the garage doors.
The palette is the kind of gray.
Yes, yes. Single family homes, the whole idea was here to, it's, in the other plan, we had multiple front and back townhomes in this area, and we wanted to switch to single family homes. And it has a central courtyard, which makes it a really interesting type layout. I've built other houses with this central courtyard in Ohio City for 25 or 30 years. So it really is a usable private area, especially when you have to have the garage in the back. And when you put the garage in the back of your property, you're kind of stuck. You can keep going forward. This one has, don't need to know, but 2-car garage. It has a guest suite in the, or master in the back. Keep trucking. Elevations. And we could go down to 43. I think you guys have up, just there's some other renderings. Those are the 3 that are on Burton Court. That's the single that's on West 41st. That's looking down Burton Court on the left side. Back to that rendering that you've seen. This design review, last time I went there, I had some landscaping, but I didn't have all the details they were looking for. So I've updated that with detailed landscaping and lighting, just to make sure it was part of this presentation, which I believe they have seen since our last meeting. As far as lighting, you could see that most of the lighting comes from sconces, recessed lights. In a minimal way, we have them tucked away so they don't stick out too much other than the sconces on that. You can go to the next slide. Just some different landscaping and planting type things. What we really wanted to do on the landscaping is accentuate those planters with some different types of grasses growing up to soften both facades and the areas in between the garages to help define the properties and say, hey, this is my porch and this is kind of a little personal barrier, and add a little bit of landscaping to that area. These are other site plans and landscaping and grading, which are just preliminary. And I think that's the meat of it. So I'll try to keep it relatively short.
Before we questions and comments, this is public hearing. First, we're going to open it up to the public. If there's anybody in favor of the zoning change who would like to speak, please raise your hand, or you are definitely in favor. Anybody online? If not, is there anybody opposed to the zoning change or has a question?
Just let it be known that we have, in purchasing some of these properties, there's one house that still has a tenant. There's another that doesn't, but we did, and then there's the existing new construction house on the corner. We did reach out to them and introduce the project to them. We also reached out to the Block Club, which didn't, I think, have any meetings at this time. So, but we did contact all the neighbors, and
Okay, so did the city, so.
the corner lot, just
Right.
the corner house there had a fencing question. They just wanted to make sure there was a
Okay.
fence. I'm like, well, either way,
Right.
there'll be a fence along here.
Okay, we'll close the public portion. Commission members, questions, comments? We'll need two separate motions.
It's less about the specifics of the project, but is the parking across Burton Court, is there, I guess there's been some projects around town, notably one on Bridge Avenue, where people have not parked their car in the garage. They parked it on the pad in front of the garage. It seems like,
Like pet peeve.
yeah, it seems like here it'd almost be too small for that to even happen. The car would be sticking out. So to me, it underscores the importance of the parking across the street, but is there an assurance moving forward that that parking across the street is going to remain available? I don't think I'm over exaggerating when I say a lot of people use their garage for everything but parking a car.
Yeah, that parking, when you say, will it be available, that's a private parcel and they use their parking, however they use your parking, but I totally understand your issue. I did another project on Vine Court where when they redid Vine Court near 32nd, I did 4 townhomes, and they kind of made a walkway, but it's really part of the alley. It's theoretically within the alley with a little 3-foot walkway, and everybody parks there. And then if other people try to back out from my units, they can't get out because they're parked partially encroaching what is the street, even though they're on partially the sidewalk. So I understand that. One of the good things about the parking across the street, because Burton Court isn't overly wide, is that you'll see that their parking kind of in that's not even to scale, is 20 or 30 feet away from Burton Court. So they're already giving a 15, 20 foot for off of Vine Court before they actually parking, which both helps our case and their case. As far as the answer to your question, you're exactly correct. We are 8 feet off of Vine Court, and our stairs come out. Mm-hmm. 2 or 3 feet of that, so you cannot park the car without your wheels in the road. So we couldn't impede them, and also the neighbors don't impede us because they have their parking moved away from Burton Court. So we're lucky in that sense.
All right, I just want to make sure that the future owners would understand they're not allowed to park there. It would create sightline issues, and I don't think we're talking about a fatal crash or anything here at the speeds, but it would be problematic if cars were to park in that short setback.
It is impossible due to the width of the car and the width from the stairs to the alley.
Also sounds like an enforcement issue.
Yeah.
So, anybody else? Let's, first, take a motion on the conditional use.
So I will move approval for the conditional use of townhouses in a two-family district at 41st and Burton.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Anthony,
Yes.
Curry,
Yes.
McCray Scott,
Yes.
Sergeant,
Yes.
Slife,
Yes.
and Whitfield.
Yes.
Motion carries. We'll need a motion on the design review, page 6, and up to my commission members on their discretion around schematic or final.
I will move. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go on.
So I will move final approval of the Near West 2025-016 with additional changes going to staff.
And I second.
And what that means, because you're looking at it, it's just basically, when your director has discretion to sign the permit when it comes. And, it sounds like you've addressed a lot of the, issues also. So, call the roll.
Anthony,
Yes.
Curry,
Yes.
McCray Scott,
Yes.
Sergeant,
Yes.
Slife,
Yes.
and Whitfield.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good luck.
As an aside, I do love those long courtyard, the design you have for the courtyard.
Oh, thank
I think
you.
it's a very,
Look forward to.
you can do like an ADU sometimes, you can not do an ADU, you can have an office in the back.
Right.
You
Try
get that
to
courtyard
make
space.
it flex.
Very
It could be a
modern. I would want one.
Second master or, all right, thank you guys. Have a good
Thank
weekend.
you. There's one more design review case. It's, excuse me, 2025-014. Allien School Wing Edition. We've seen this. This is for final approval. And you can see that, local did, recommend final approval. With just a little bit about a tree, canopy, which seems minor. Are the architects Larson online or here?
I'm not sure if they're online. I just sent JP a text to see if he's joining.
Who will present this? I know you could probably in your sleep, but we've seen this. Do you want to hold this for a sec? We have a ton of mandatory referrals, so maybe we'll hold on. We'll come back. I don't think we need to do anything. We'll just come back if they show up. So first mandatory referral is on page 8. 14072025. This is declaring the intent to vacate a portion of Mount Carmel Road. Is there someone from the city who's here to present this? She might not realize it. Okay, that's a problem. Do we have anyone for the city? We have you guys, right? Do you want to get moved up? Do we need anyone else to present yours? Yes. Okay. Yeah, well, you're here. That's what I mean. It's not like you're not here. So we're going to page 11. Amanda. Which ones are you presenting?
I'm presenting 2202 and 2203.
Okay, we'll do
13
them.
guys.
Then we'll do all the ones you have and we'll wait for any others. Maybe you guys could text any other city people. All right, so we're on page 11. This is 14112025. This is authorizing the mayor and commissioner of purchases and supplies to acquire and reconvey properties owned by TW58 and its designee. This is at 1200 West 58th Street. And this is chain of title, TIF.
Correct. Good morning, commission members. My name is Robin Brown. I'm with the Department of Economic Development. And with me to my right is Ken Kolinchuk with PMC Consultants and Justin Gustafson with AOD Architect. This project is TW58 Cleveland LLC. It is the holding company and development entity formed by RDC Holdings, Ocean Wave, Triple I Company, and Monam. So the total square footage of the actual development is over about 113,000 square feet across 8 stories. Next, please. It's only the tower and the foundry remain currently now at the construction site. It was constructed in 1898. Next, please. So the redevelopment of the complex will be in 2 phases. Phase 1 will be 106 market rate apartments with 8 studios, 81 1-bedrooms, and 17 2-bedrooms. The second phase will be 30 market rate apartments with over 23,000 square feet of commercial, office, and cafe space. The project will create 5 full-time equivalent jobs, approximately 214,000 of annual payroll. Total project cost over 81 million. Next slide, please. This project is subject to expanded community benefits agreement. Any questions?
Anything else you guys would like to say?
Thanks so much for having us. This project requires a TIF in order to move forward next year. So we're here today for the chain of title referral and would appreciate your support. Thank you for having us.
Any other questions? I mean, here's a slide of the.
Yeah, this just gives a value over the 30-year period of the TIF. So the estimated value over 30 years would be approximately over 11 million, and the TIF value in year 16 to 30 after the expiration of the CRA would be approximately about 483,000.
Madam Chair, real quick, what do you mean by expanded community benefit agreement?
So via the Office of Equal Opportunity, when you have a project that's over 20 million, there's a standard community benefits agreement and an expanded community benefits agreement. You're welcome.
So this is a non-school TIF.
Yes, this is a non-school TIF.
Just want to make sure because it says, okay, so this shows at the bottom what the increase for the schools are over the 30-year period, correct?
Correct,
Okay,
yes.
got it. That's a good thing. Just check. All right, any questions, comments? Great project.
Thank you so
Beautiful,
much.
long overdue, can't wait. People have been looking at it, as you know, but this is great.
Madam Chair, I move for approval of mandatory referral ordinance number 1411-2025.
And I second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Anthony,
Yes.
Curry,
Yes.
McCray Scott,
Yes.
Sergeant,
Yes.
Slife,
Yes.
Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you, commissioners.
Motion
Have a good weekend.
carries. All right. Robin, stay here, but I'm gonna have to come up and we're gonna go back to the first one. You don't have to go.
Okay.
There's room for him. So we're going back to page 8, starting in the mandatory referrals, 14072025. Declaring the intent to vacate a portion of Mount Carmel. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Go to the next slide, please. Thank you. The Cuyahoga Metropolitan Housing Authority is requesting a portion of Mount Carmel Road be vacated for CMHA's ongoing redevelopment of the Wood Hill Homes property. Next slide, please. The vacation is that indented part of Mount Carmel was formerly used for head-in parking. They need that parcel now to widen out their buildable area so that they could put one of their new buildings over there. Next slide, please. Again, just another view that way up in the corner. You see that little hashed out area? That's where the vacation will occur. Next slide, please. That area actually then allows them to build that up there in the corner again, that top pink building, that'll be placed there because of vacation. Next slide, please. Questions?
Commission members?
Move approval of resolution 140725.
Second.
Motion and a second. Call the roll.
Anthony,
Yes.
Curry,
Yes.
McCray Scott,
Yes.
Sergeant,
Yes.
Slife,
Yes.
and Whitfield.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Pretty straightforward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I think we'd be remiss not to acknowledge the shirt.
But there's always this shirt.
But this is
This is a shirt.
Pre-holiday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where does one find such food?
Top notch.
I order it once a year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, are you here for I think, the next two are together. correct?
Yes, 1397.
So 1397-2025, and the next one, 1399-2025, same project. Authorizing the mayor and commissioner of purchase and suppliers to acquire and convey properties presently owned by RJL 2230 SALLC, located at 2230 Superior. This is also chain of title TIF. The next one, and you'll explain this, is also for the chain of title TIF, so you'll explain why they're two separate ordinances, correct?
Correct. So each building has its own parcel and requiring its own chain of title. However, it's one development project and the scope in the same project manager. So this project is located at 2202 and 2230 Superior Avenue. Turn Dev is the developer who is based out of Beechwood. The existing structures, next slide, please. The existing structures total approximately over 99,000 square feet. The Heller building is approximately 57,000, and the Keller Kohn is approximately 42,000. Both structures were originally constructed as a textile buildings, and it served various commercial and industrial uses over the years. Next slide, please. So the project cost is approximately over 45 million. It would create approximately over 7.5 jobs at a 402,000 annual payroll. Next slide, please. This project is required for an expanded CBA agreement. Next slide, please. So the median annual TIF value in year 16 to 30 is over 246,000, and the estimated total value of the 30-year TIF is a little over 3.7 million. Virtually on the call representing the developer is Colin Harrington with KJK and Thomas Flynn with Turn Dev, if you have any questions.
Commission members? So we're gonna need two separate motions.
Yes.
The first one on page 9 and the second one on page 10. And you can just refer to the ordinances. You don't have to read the whole thing.
Madam Chair, I move for approval of mandatory referral ordinance number 2025.
Second.
Motion and a second, call the roll.
Anthony,
Yes.
Curry,
Yes.
McCray Scott,
Yes.
Sargent,
Yes.
Blythe,
Yes.
and Whitfield.
Yes.
Motion carried. Wait,
Madam Chair, I move for approval of mandatory referral ordinance number 1399-2025.
A second.
motion and a second.
Anthony,
Yes.
Curry,
Yes.
McCray Scott,
Yes.
Sargent,
Yes.
Blythe,
Yes.
and Whitfield.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. We're gonna jump, we'll save the landmark for last just because they're longer, because we have some two other ordinances. Is there someone here for 1492-2025, which is the ordinance to accept donations for that from the MJGK Foundation for the skate park at Lukeister? You guys, come on up. Very exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Very.
If you could say your name and then tell us about this.
Sure thing. My name is Jessica Gift. I'm Deputy Commissioner of Recreation. And I'm Emily Petson, Site Development. So this is an exciting opportunity over at Lukeister Park, near Zelma George Rec Center. We are partnering with the skate park project and the MGK Foundation to build a new skate park out at Lukeister Park. We do not have a final design for you guys today. We have a preliminary design if we'd like to review that. The success of this project and implementation kind of hinges on the $500,000 award from the Land and Water Conservation Fund. In totality, this will be about a $1.3 million project. And we're looking to have completion on construction probably Q2 or Q3 of 2027.
So the location is kind of at the southern portion of Luke Easter Park, along Kinsman and Martin Luther King Drive. This is just more of like a fit study that we're showing you today. We're gonna bring on, big wig designers, skate park designers, probably from either local grind line or throughout the country, California. So yeah, working with the Tony Hawk Foundation, also known as the skate park, right? Yep. So yeah, this was just preliminary fit study showing what could happen there. And we did a couple just concepts to kind of show how we could connect to the different amenities that are already there. MoCap is also looking to redo the parking lot and some of the roofs on the shelters that are existing there to kind of update the park.
That's great.
Yeah.
We did also hold two community engagement sessions prior to submission of the application. One was specifically around inviting individuals in the skateboard community to provide some design input for this fit study. The second was more oriented towards, we held it at Zelma George Rec Center, towards the community input and end users and programming. And we probably had 25 to 30 individuals show up to that. We actually had some of the kids design what their dream skate park would look like and included that in the application.
That's great. So this ordinance is just to accept the potential funding. And the commission will see this again when it's
Absolutely.
when it's final design. Okay. Thank you.
I move approval of ordinance 1492, 2025.
Second.
Motion and a second, call the roll.
Anthony,
Yes.
Curry,
Yes.
McCray Scott,
Yes.
Sergeant,
Yes.
Slife,
Yes.
and Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you, love it. Thank you
Thanks
for
so
your time,
much.
appreciate it.
Thank
We
you.
don't often see those.
Oh, yeah.
We love it, it's good.
We'll come back with more fun stuff.
Yes, bring skateboards when you come next. Page 14, this is ordinance number 1498-2025, authorizing the Director of Capital Projects to issue a permit to the Cleveland Clinic Foundation to encroach on the public right-of-way of Allien, or is it Allien Park? Yeah, by,
Allien.
is it Allien?
There's an extra
See?
L, yeah.
Allien, by installing and using and maintaining a concrete driveway. Right.
Good morning once again. This resolution to authorize the Director of Capital Project to issue a permit to Cleveland Clinic Foundation to encroach into public right of way. I still call it Elaine. Elaine?
Elaine.
Thank you.
It's
There's two L's.
it's like Cuyahoga. I guess it's
No,
just pick
big
one and stick with
difference.
it.
Encroachment permit is for installing, using, and maintaining a concrete driveway and riprap erosion control along the existing ravine to access the delivery area for the new Fairview Hospital Medical Office Building. Next slide, please. On the left, you can see the hatched out area, which is the easement area, and to the right, that same little elbow area, the driveway is that dashed line, and that's what caused the need for the easement. Next slide, please. Again, another view of where the easement is located at. The picture on the left, you're looking at the parking garage. That's why I got that little niche in there. And then on the right, you can see again, that's where the easement will occur. Next slide, please. Questions?
I don't have questions. I know you guys are here for this. Would you like to speak? Yeah? Okay. If you both would like to come on up, and Rick, maybe slide down so you can answer any questions. You can turn that one on and if you both please just state your name and your comments. Thank you.
Douglas Baird. And I'm the property owner. They don't show it on this.
Go to the previous slide where it's easier to see. This one, yeah.
But it is the only public access to my additional 3.5 acre parcel of land. And I have spoken repeatedly from the beginning of its existence and the need to protect it, and have been assured repeatedly, oh yes, we know it's there. It's drawn on these maps.
Can you show us which parcel you mean that you own?
Yes, it's not depicted, but the right of way continues all the way down to the Metro Parks. My home is here, and I have 3.5 acres that goes all along this area. And I submitted photos in my testimony, and repeatedly with these presentations, they never depict the fact that it's going to landlock my parcel. I bought that property over 30 years ago, knowing that there was an easement, and that was always represented by a curb cut and an apron when the hospital removed the houses along the west side of West 179th back in 2011. I think they eliminated that curb cut and that apron, but the right of way remains an important access to my property. You can see not only this side, but also in the upper corner, all of that acreage is mine. And it ends in the Metro Parks. So unless there's some plan to move that right of way, I don't understand how it can be vacated.
Rick, can you respond?
It is my understanding from what I've seen and read that that easement does not obstruct the ability to utilize the right of way. I think the law department has looked at that, and I believe that's what was concluded.
With all due respect, that makes no sense.
Madam Chair, may I? There had been, as I understand it, a question of should the city vacate this right of way or maintain the right of way with an easement. For my colleagues who, just in case it's helpful, when we vacate, technically your property goes out to the middle of the street. So if the city were to vacate the street in front of your home, your property line would revert back out to the middle of the street. The city basically has an easement on your property to maintain the right of way. In this situation, it was easier to show on the parcel map. If we were to fully vacate the road, which obviously only exists on paper, towards West 100, yes, thank you. Towards West 179th, Fairview Hospital would get us. Fairview Hospital also owns the property, the large one that ends in 12 and the smaller one that ends in 11. So basically Fairview property and Fairview property would meet and become Fairview property adjoining each other. Similarly, the 001 property that's circled and the large property that's to the north of it that's circled off the picture are both owned by Mr. Baird, so they would become contiguous with each other again. So there's an argument to be made that a full vacation wouldn't cause the property to become an orphan because at the current state and time, they have same ownership, so you could basically access 001 through 002. However, that's assuming that moving forward, that common ownership maintains itself, which would be an assumption. Therefore, the city opted, instead of vacating the right of way, to retain the right of way legally, but to allow an encroachment from the clinic onto a portion of it so that there's still a right of way to access the property. You would still be able to, and correct me if I'm wrong, correct me if with any nuance, Mr. Switowski, but the ability to essentially enter clinic property to continue down the legal right of way would have to be retained, but it would not create the situation that I outlined where you could create an orphan property if down the road ownership doesn't become common. So the right of way still exists. It's an encroachment, much in the same way that we allow patios to encroach into the right of way or a sign to encroach in the right of way. We're allowing a small part of the Cleveland Clinic's driveway to encroach into what is technically a legal right of way.
Right. So do you see the distinction? They're not vacating the
I-
street. And
I
I mean,
do.
you could encroach on it and allow, it actually allows.
But there would be no way you would be able to develop 3.5 acres of property.
You would encroach, you'd have to do an encroachment. You would do the same thing, correct? Down the line.
I'd have to defer that to law. Sorry.
Trust me, it would not go in my favor. Also, this right of way acts as a barrier for our neighborhood. The property ending in 11, which the hospital recently acquired, is residential. So this barrier stands between what is residential zoning and what is institutional research. And anything that obstructs that leaves my property, my acreage, to become landlocked, which it is currently accessed from West 179th by this right of way.
I would just repeat that there's no change to the right of way. What this legislation would do is allow a Cleveland Clinic driveway to coexist with a small portion of the right of way, but does not remove the right of way from existing. It's again, it's similar. This is the same process we would go through for a restaurant to have a patio up against the sidewalk. And it's allowing something to exist in what is otherwise a public street.
Can you go back to this, so I can see the site plan again? With the, not this one, that. I think. So they're really just encroaching on the elbow, right?
Yes.
Well, and they're also going on to the residentially zoned land there with their driveway. They're completely obscuring the barrier between institutional research and residential zoning. And that's to accommodate their dumpsters.
Right here. This is a residential lot. Zoned residential. And there's an IR zoned driveway on residential land.
But they own that lot.
But
Right, they
it's
do, yeah.
residential.
Madam Chair, just, can we go back real quick? Sorry. Can you stay where you were, sir?
Yes.
I just want to make sure I'm clear. The other map that Evelyn had up, that showed the parcel numbers. Evelyn, can we go back to the previous slide, please? Yes. So where the gentleman was pointing, is that the one that ends in 011?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
thank
the
you. I'm
clinic
just,
owns that.
and the clinic just acquired that one.
They did. And this is the barrier that has historically stood long before Fairview Hospital came into existence as a buffer. This was part of the original plan for our development to access my acreage.
Okay.
And
which one do
Thank you, sir.
parcel again?
can they bring
Can you
up
go
the,
back to the plot map? Real view.
One more forward.
Evelyn, you're doing really well. I'm sorry.
Right
Okay,
there,
so this is Douglas's house.
right there. Got
That's a
it.
house. And then this is a separate lot.
It's a
And
continuous lot divided by the right of way. They have the same parcel number.
so it's 3.5 acres. If a developer wanted to put valley side condos, there'd be no access.
It is a spectacular view.
Okay.
And it's just simply not right, especially
Okay.
when you consider planning commission on, I believe it was September 5th. He brought this up then.
Yeah, it's
And
just
then
been
he
repeatedly
brought it up
ignored.
at zoning board. And law department said, there's no problem with this. But here we are. Obviously, there's a problem with it, or none of us would be here today.
It's just
And
part of, okay, so,
he's saying, we'll have to check with legal.
okay, listen,
We don't
please
trust
address
legal.
the chair. Do not address anyone with the chair.
Okay.
We're the public here when we're allowing you to speak. So, I'm going to close the public portion and ask commission members for any questions or comments. Rick and the director actually has a few.
Yes, there are a few things that just need to be read into the record. One, acknowledgement of the fact that we have received 4 letters from residents opposing the ordinance and revolving around some of the issues that you just brought up, which is access to the site, concerns about it being creating a landlocked condition, and also procedural issues were the things that were identified in their concerns. The commission members have received those letters prior to the meeting and have had an opportunity to read through them. We also received comments from the law department, so I'll read those into record as well. The property at issue is an unimproved right-of-way. The general public will still have access to the unimproved right-of-way, including any paved area, when an easement is granted, and that easement should so state that condition. The easement in no way impacts Mr. Bear's ability to access his property. He will still have the same access to his property that he currently has.
So if I want to run electrical, sewer, or anything through a public right of way, I can just run it right over the clinic's drive?
Me.
Sorry.
Thank you. Please address the chair. Just anyone would have to request an encroachment. It is part of the process. So, for any public right of way, anyone would have to request an encroachment. So I'm closing the public portion. Is there anything else, Director, you want to say?
No.
Okay. Commission members, any questions or thoughts, comments for the?
I'll move approval of ordinance 1496-25.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Anthony,
No.
Curry,
Yes.
McCray Scott,
No.
Sergeant,
Yes.
Slife,
Yes.
and Whitfield.
Yes.
Motion carries. All right. This goes to council. We send this to city council.
Yeah.
Body is advisory to city council, so this will also be heard at city council. Thank you. The next item is, we're going backwards.
We have the design review and the landmarks.
We have design review and like, is design review here? You want to do landmarks first?
Up to you.
Or is the design, who's presenting design review?
I think JP is here.
Oh, JP.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, there you are. All right, let's go back to that. That's on page 7. This is Far West 2025-014, Ihsan School Wing Edition. This is at 4600 Rocky River Drive. And this is for final approval. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You shall answer to the penalty of perjury.
I do.
And we've seen this a few times.
Yes.
So you can go quick
Okay.
and focus on between schematic and here, and then we'll hear your review from design review. Go ahead.
Same project, only better. This includes landscape photometric, some tweaks to the elevations specific to comments made by the Far West Design Review. Sorry, I should have a Cliff Notes version thereof. But in essence, we did eliminate one of the canopies along the rear where the administrative portion of the building entrances, which aligns with the existing gym. We made a thinner application at the recommendation of the Far West for the primary entrance into the school from the parking lot. This follows the request from Far West and this body to suggest to landscape the parking lot and soften that a little bit more. I think my greatest hits here. Again, photometric, landscape. Oh, and at the request of CAMS, we include a parking stack of about 50 cars to demonstrate that. And at the public forum with the neighbors, they had expressed a concern about the view corridor at Ferncliff, Fairville. Thank you. Yeah, but both bordering streets start with F. So we've actually pushed back the corner condition of the sign. And our final slide in this shows, I think it's our final slide. That shows the clipped corner. And then landscape, more landscape with a key. Oh, site sections were requested to show that we weren't going to be impacting the view to the RTUs. 200 feet on one side, 100 plus on the other. Photometric, light pole examples.
I guess I'll stop. I'm gonna ask Councilman, since you've been involved in the community process, where you think, obviously, this has been through a lot of reviews. It's our third time. So Councilman,
I will actually,
you can go ahead.
I'm going to parlay that into a request from my colleagues. The primary focus of every community discussion and meeting really comes down to traffic and is not about it's not really questioning the validity or the need for the improvement. It kind of spills over into a question about things that I would argue are the cities to address, and maybe put on my bias hat a little bit, but it sometimes feels like Rocky River Drive is an opportunity for some of the street enhancement projects we see in other parts of town, but we're so far west that maybe it's a little off the beaten path for people. But I think when we start talking about like right-sizing roads, installing traffic lights that are able to accommodate the number of safety vehicles we have coming, and things like there's things the city could be doing throughout this corridor. I think that would ease a lot of the concerns, create more on-street parking, but that's gonna take some action from the city and not from the mosque and the school. But I think that the neighbors overwhelmingly are appreciative of the school and the congregation, and it's an exciting growth point for the neighborhood. And I really think that the one picture that showed looking westward how the entire campus is sort of built out along the street is compelling. I think that the architecture is sort of a great nod to kind of the faith tradition. So I think it's a great project. My only hope would be in the sign, and I know this is for the school, but the mosque portion, if anybody knows Arabic script, I think the mosque has like the coolest logo that's like a nod to like how you would actually read Al Omari in Arabic script. So I would love to see that incorporated just because I think it's pretty cool.
Thank you. Nate Law with Cleveland City Planning. It was approved with no conditions. There was a suggestion for shade trees on Rocky River Drive instead of caliper trees. Just the only thing of note from our perspective is that the LED signage proposed on Rocky River Drive will need to come back for a variance, as it is. The property is zoned in a residential district, so the community use is allowable, but it needs to be approved by this commission.
But in effect, even though.
Yes. Yeah.
This is for final.
I'll move final approval.
Second.
Motion and second, call the roll.
Anthony,
Yes.
Curry,
Yes.
Ray Scott,
Yes.
Sargent,
Yes.
Blythe,
Yes.
and Whitfield.
Yes.
Motion carries. And thank you. And thanks for all. I mean, I know you did an extraordinary, inordinate amount of work. Very necessary, very important civic project. So it's very worth it. So thank you.
We're
for
very
your-
lucky to be participants in this,
Yes.
and kudos to all of you for the fine suggestions, and obviously to the councilman for helping to broker the conversations with the community as well.
It's an
So
anchor, the
Yes.
anchor over there. So
Thank
thank
you.
you. All right, let's fast forward to the last mandatory referral, which is, let me just find the page, is a landmark zone 12. It is ordinance number 1451, designating Cam's Corners Bank Building, which is former Cleveland Trust West Park branch, as a Cleveland landmark. I do not have a conflict, but originally my founder created Cleveland Trust, Fred Goff, which then became the Cleveland Foundation. So, but 111 years, I think, give me distance.
Yes, and I have read those original. I have read those original records from when they created it when I was doing research on my thesis. So it was interesting going through that whole process as well. Thank you. Carl Bridges, Cleveland Landmark staff. Next slide, please. The building is located at the northeast corner of Lorraine Avenue and River Drive at Cam's Corners. Next slide, please. The Cleveland Trust Company had its origins as a planned safety deposit company in 1893. In 1894, state laws were modified, allowing for trust companies to also conduct safety, deposit, and banking business, so long as they kept those activities separate. It was with these rules in place that the Cleveland Trust Company was formed. Taking residence in the newly built dough-filled building, the bank officially opened on September 1895. The banking business took over a portion of the first floor, while the trust business and safety deposit vaults remained in the basement in 1898. Next slide, please. After a merger with the Western Reserve Trust Company, the main banking room moved down the street to the corner of Euclid Avenue and Public Square in the Williamson Building. The acquisition of the Windermere Savings Bank also at this time became the first of many as they looked to expand to have a bank in every neighborhood. Next slide, please. The new office opened at Euclid and East 9th in 1908. Additional smaller banks were acquired, and by the mid-1920s, there were 23 branches. Next slide, please. Cam's Corners are named after Cam, a Swiss immigrant who arrived in the area in 1875. He was eventually made the local postmaster operating out of his store, which led to the naming of this intersection. Port Village was still a small countryside community at the turn of the 20th century. Next slide, please. As the neighborhood grew, and the now named West Park was annexed by the city of Cleveland in 1923.
Yes. Gotta love these sandals. Oh. 1927.
I can see my house from here.
Actually, it was built in 29.
29.
So it was in the planning stages, I suppose.
Yeah, this map in particular is like 1927 to 39, so it basically encompasses a larger chunk. Pink, brick, yellow, or wood.
And is yours yellow?
Mine is yellow. Yes,
Yeah.
it's wood.
Interesting. I didn't know.
And then that larger green or the yellow part that's at the bottom of the cemetery, that's a greenhouse. Okay, next slide, please. The West Park Savings and Banking Company was formed in 1915. The bank was located on the north side of Lorraine, just west of Rocky River Drive. The Cleveland Trust Company acquired the bank in late June 1920, establishing its 24th branch, although there are some sources that say 25th. Next slide, please. Cleveland Trust Company continued to grow, and in 1926 there were 52 branches. Prominent location in the growing community was ideal. The building was designed by Alfred G. Hall, who was the in-house architect for the company for over a decade. He designed several renovation programs for the company and new buildings in Bedford, Cleveland Heights, Painesville, and Lakewood. Next slide, please. The building is significant architecturally as an example of a neoclassic commercial structure. This is an important style for banks at the time, which implied both stability and strength. The building opened on June 11th, 1927. Next slide, please. At the end of the year of completion, there were 57 branches. Next slide, please. The building is constructed of limestone. Ionic columns flank the central entrance on Lorraine Avenue. Simple classic piers separate the bays, and a central classicized parapet rises above the entrance. A rear addition, likely for drive-through banking, was added in 1960. Next slide, please. By 1977, there are 120 branches and $5 billion in assets. The name of the corporation was changed to Amir Trust in 1979, and the parapet was altered to remove the Cleveland Trust name. The building was later restored in conjunction with the city's storefront renovation program. Next slide, please. And this is it, post-restoration. Next slide, please. The O.B. McClintock Company was a successor to the McClintock Loomis Company and produced bank clocks of this nature from 1917 to 1949. It was previously installed at the First National Bank of Gettysburg about 1926, pictured here. It was removed from that building after 1972. There is a twin to this clock in Hendersonville, North Carolina, which was installed in 1927. Next slide, please. The building maintains its integrity minus the removal of the lettering of the parapet, which is approaching 50 years in that change, and the addition of the clock.
Awkward.
Depends on what side you're.
Okay.
It works twice a day. You can go through the next couple slides. The owner has not responded either for or against the designation. A public hearing was conducted on August 14th, 2025 in accordance with the landmarks ordinance.
The owner is not keeping it, so.
No. Thank you.
The question, quick one, is, obviously, since they had so many branches and Cleveland Trust downtown is a landmark, how many of these old Cleveland Trust buildings are landmarks? Just two? Just Cleveland Trust downtown and this now?
Right. The Cleveland Trust downtown is on the National Register, is not locally designated. There are, I think there's a couple of other ones here and there, but there are others that are eligible throughout the city.
On 55th Street?
Yes.
Is that one landmark? as
Yes, that
well?
is.
The one that's kind of near 55th and Superior or St. Clair, one of those beautiful ones.
St. Clair, yes.
St.
That
Clair.
Goodrich.
I just wondered if
yes.
like 50 of them are, or it's more.
No,
like
there's only,
four?
there's a handful because a lot of them have been torn down.
Yeah.
There was one that was similar to Euclid and East 9th at 105th and Euclid, which was torn down where the Ronald McDonald House is. There's a similar one down East 55th and Woodland, which was also torn. So we've lost quite a few of them. There is one in St. Clair. It's a former Garfield Bank that they took over. So yeah, there are a handful around that are designated.
They all have a similar, classical. Yeah. All right. Senior ward.
So I approve of the designation. It's a very ornate building, and as I've said, when oldest John Marshall came through, we're looking for some more opportunities to expand the landmark designation in the neighborhood. Stay tuned for an exciting one in very close proximity coming down the pike very quickly. As to the clock, which there's sort of two jokes on the West Park Facebook pages. One is it bulk week? And the other is it bulk week? And the other is does the clock work? Getting the clock when it breaks to get repaired is actually a challenge because of the age and the design and the specialization that comes into it. But it's been affectionately dubbed something like Cuckoo McCam or Cammy McCuckoo or something as how people refer to it. But I think it's interesting that it's not original, but it's actually become a symbol of the neighborhood, and you see it a lot of things that people put out. So I think this one is a great building. Happy to honor its legacy in the neighborhood, and yeah, I think. Oh, and I will add, this is secondhand, but I'm told that Cleveland Neighborhood Progress, which has a relationship with the owner and is working to lease the corner space, has been in communication with the owner about this designation, and there were no issues with it.
Good. We have motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Call the roll.
Yes. All right, jump in the gun.
Anthony. Early yes. First ever.
Preemptive, yes.
Anthony, yes. Curry,
Yes.
McGray Scott,
Yes.
Sergeant,
Yes.
Blythe,
Yes.
and Whitfield.
Yes.
Motion carries. All right, we have administrative approval. There are 18, which is a lot. We used to have like 18. Now they've gotten shorter, but for you, these are items that we make an approval in whole, so there'll be one approval for administrative. These are just usually things that we've either seen before, they're coming back legislation, moving through that's going on to council. But we'll give you a minute to take a look at them, especially if anyone has any conflicts. I've had a chance to go through them, I don't. And then we'll take a motion for all at once for these administrative approvals. Take a minute to look at them.
Madam Chair, I move for approval of the slate of 18 administrative approvals.
I second.
Motion and a second, call the roll.
Anthony,
Yes.
Curry,
Yes.
McGray Scott,
Yes.
Sergeant,
Yes.
Blythe,
Yes.
and Whitfield.
Yes.
Director's report.
Okay, director's report.
Sorry. And so, I'd like to announce that our chair, Lillian Curry, will be stepping down as chair. Lillian has served for a considerable amount of time. I think it's almost 20
Almost
years,
20
right?
years, 20 years.
Yeah. And
I
has
started
done
when
it.
I was 12.
Exactly.
First ever 12-year-old.
And she has done a fabulous job leading as the chair for the past 4 years. And so we truly appreciate your leadership, direction, the professionalism with which you have led each of these meetings, and just the grace and consideration for all of the residents and through every case that has come through. It's really appreciated, and I think is something that kind of sets the example and the tone of how to move forward. So we appreciate it. I would also like to read a proclamation that was sent from the mayor. So, all right. It's proclamation, Office of the Mayor of Justin Bibb, City of Cleveland, Ohio, in recognition of Lillian Curry. Whereas on behalf of the citizens of the City of Cleveland, I am honored to offer this proclamation recognizing Lillian Curry for her service as chairperson of the City Planning Commission in Cleveland, Ohio. And whereas Lillian holds a Bachelor's of Architecture from Kent State University and a Master of Architecture in Urban Design from Harvard University. She began service with the City of Cleveland in 1998 as a staff person in city planning, where she helped develop the city's first computer-based geographic information system, GIS, and contributed to the Civic Vision 2010 plan, which eventually became Connecting Cleveland 2020. She served as executive director at Cleveland Public Art before joining the Cleveland Foundation and as a consultant in 2025. She has been on the Planning Commission since 2006 and has been chairperson since 2022. And whereas Lillian joined the Cleveland Foundation in 2007 as the program director for the arts and urban design, working her way up to chief operating officer by 2021. When the foundation was searching for Lillian proposed the current location in Midtown. And whereas Lillian is an architect, an arts advocate, and one of the most respected civic leaders in Northeast Ohio, the city gratefully acknowledges the countless hours of service, thoughtful decision-making, and steadfast commitment that she has contributed to her role as chairperson. The impact of Lillian's leadership will continue to benefit the city for generations, reflected in the neighborhoods, public spaces, and development policies she helped shape. Now, therefore, I, Justin M. Bibb, the 58th Mayor of the City of Cleveland, do hereby offer this proclamation in recognition of Lillian Curry. I encourage all citizens to join me in recognizing her distinguished service and exemplary leadership. In witness thereof, I have set my hand and caused the corporate seal of the City of Cleveland to be affixed on this 21st day of November in the year 2025. Mayor Justin M. Bibb.
I have a small speech. I just want to say, like, I am so honored. I'm sad. I'm gonna miss it. It is, for me, this has been a labor of love and a love for this city. I love this city. I've loved seeing kind of the breadth of everything over the years, and it really has meant so much to me to be part of this, and just to see so much over the years. And I just want to say a few things. I met Councilman when he started actually as an alternate. At the time you were at the city in the mayor's office, correct?
I had just left the mayor's office.
He had just left the mayor's office. He came onto the commission, now a great councilman. And on this commission, I've been fortunate to serve with giants like Norm Krumholtz, who sat next to me at the end, and we were like the two over there that were rabble rousers at the end, and Tony Kohn and Gloria Jean Pinckney, who I still visit, who is just an amazing fixture here. And 3 mayors, Jane Campbell, actually Mayor Campbell was first to appoint me. And then, and 4 directors. And that doesn't include the interim directors, if I included them. So I've seen a lot, and but I love this city. I love what we've done, and I think that first of all, you guys are in good hands. And I want to say that with both Erica and August kind of taking over I have no fear about how great things are going to be. But this commission is important. This commission, I think, is really, really important. I think we are the front lines of helping people really get through the process. I've prided myself in really making sure that people feel welcome to do business in the city of Cleveland, and come here, not just to get approval, but to be recognized for their investment in the city of Cleveland, which we want more of. I'm proud of so much that we did. I sent this in my email, but for me, the form-based zone was a form-based code that took a really long time over a couple administrations, but it is a leap forward for this city. This commission worked on it, approved that. Really proud of one small but big thing, which was to save the Breuer Tower, which was, a fight that this commission was kind of split on over time. But I think today you can look at it and say, oh, that made sense, right? First bikeway master plan that came really actually from the staff of to build a master plan from the city back in the Martin E. Cater days. Then this commission adopted it, and it has led so much, not just on streets, but the off-street kind of network of bikeways. So much of what we do actually sets the table for the connectivity of everything across the city. And I do want to thank you, Marka and Evelyn and the staff. This is a amazing staff over the years that it's a labor of love for you more than us, even a passion that you guys have. And so the professionalism, the work you do to prepare us made it easy. I felt really prepared over the last 4 years. You're going to feel really prepared. Just, what the work you do is thorough and you do it with care. So thank you. I'm going to miss it though. There's no question. I am absolutely going to miss it, but it is the right time. And you can find me, you know where to find me. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, a couple of other announcements. One is that Erica Anthony will be stepping in as the chair. And also August Fluker will continue as the vice chair. And so congratulations to you, Erica, as well. No speech? Okay. And then one last thing is that our commission meeting in January actually starts on January 2nd. And so we are wondering if we should continue and hold that meeting on the 2nd, if people will be still on vacation or if we will have quorum. That's the question.
I'm not commission anymore, but I would.
Yeah, and that's what kind of a thing.
Oh my God.
Okay. So we'll look at possibly moving it.
There, which I think makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have two meetings in December. Yeah.
Yeah, we can shift it a
Yeah,
week.
so our next meetings will be December 5th, December 19th. And then if we cancel the meeting on January 2nd of 2026, the following meeting would be January 16th. Is that okay with everyone? Yeah.
I think that if we,
Madam Incoming Chair, I think that if we had a meeting on the 2nd, it would, even if we were all in attendance, I think it'd be problematic for the people appearing before us. So I think it just makes sense to punt it.
All right. I will not have a meeting on January 2nd then. Happy New Year.
But you have to come to work.
I will be here. The whole thing by myself.
Waste your time because you come and would be like two things on the agenda.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Are we officially adjourned?
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank
My
you.
last meeting is official. I didn't know where you found out.
You got information all over the place. Many articles about you.
hey, Mark, turn off the